Evening, guys. How are you?
Doing well.
So today we're going to be looking at Pronty, Fishy Adventure by 18 Light Games. This is a, what do you call it?
Video game?
No, it's when the game's not out yet. Early access version of the game that I got. It is described as an action-adventure game set in an underwater city. For clarification's sake, I have skipped this video past the tutorial.
Okay.
Alright? It is a Metroidvania. It is all underwater, so there is a lot of movement.
Yep.
And this is, after the tutorial, the first, cutscene you get.
Okay.
I like the cutscene.
Yeah, it's very comic book
Yeah,
style,
it's
right?
like comic book with fish. It's like Aquaman. Only cool.
What are you talking about? Aquaman's pretty cool in the newer ones.
I mean, the movies, yeah.
Alright, guys, we're not talking about Aquaman, okay?
Beep.
Now, the game does not look like this.
Oh.
However, there has been a lot of praise for how it looks. It does have a simple design. It is nice. But I really do hope there's more of these comic book scenes because it is very nice to look at.
Yeah.
Yeah, those
That's
are
pretty neat.
Those
I
are
like
very,
the,
very
I like the way it
professional
does
looking.
the storytelling.
Yeah, very professional looking. Making use of probably very limited resources, which is something I always approve of for indie developers.
You know what it kind of reminds me of when I see the drawings here, and the main character, especially in the comic book scenes, is Astro Boy.
He does have a look like that, yeah.
He looks like the explodey guy from Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, yeah.
I forget his name though. Probably because he kills himself.
There's
right
Tien
away.
and... Is it Chaozu?
Chaozu. Yes, Chaozu.
It's been so long.
Anyway, so his name is Pronty, and his companion is Bront. So how the game works is, you don't actually fight with Pronty. Pronty, you kind of swim around and do, your dodging and things like that.
Yeah.
And your shoulder button attacks will actually guide Bront to attack enemies. And there is a stamina bar, so if you, just mash attacks, he'll tire out. And you'll need to either rapidly cool him, I think it's overheating because he's a robot. So you'll either need to rapidly cool him, or wait until the stamina regenerates. So there's a bit of a balance between how frequently you attack.
Okay.
But you're kind of keeping track of two entities at once.
Yeah.
The side of you that attacks, though Bront can't take damage, and Pronty, who has to do the actual dodging.
Yeah.
When you kill enemies, you get recyclables, which are your currency for some reason. Right? Where checkpoints and rest stations have things you can buy, this will put a icon on the map where Bronty is, pretty common early Metroidvania one.
Yeah.
But then things different abilities, different passives. But the big difference is that since you're always underwater, you kind of always have this free movement rather than just, running or, based on different movements that you get in these games, like double jumps or ceiling climbs.
Yeah.
You can constantly move around.
I really like the graphic style, actually.
Yeah, it's one that a lot of people have praised. So this is your kind of checkpoint, and this is the memory board where you can equip certain things that you've... Because you can find them in the world as well.
Yeah.
But you can also buy some rudimentary ones from a shop. And then this is where you equip it. Like most of them, you have to unlock slots so that you can equip more of them.
Yeah, and power up that way and stuff like that. And customize, too. You know what? It actually kind of reminds me a little bit of Hollow Knight in terms of that style.
It's definitely like a Hollow Knight where you can swim around the entirety of the level. And different abilities that you can unlock, which some of them you'll see in this, is the ability to dodge.
Okay.
Which also adds the effect that if you dodge through an enemy, it will give them a mark that they'll take more damage when they get hit.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So the dodge is multi-purpose. It can
Yeah.
dodge through the laser beams that you see to the left of the character, but also that it can weaken enemies. And another one you get in the demo is where Bronty will spin around you, or Bront will spin around you and create a force field to go through sludge that you can't swim through otherwise.
Gotcha.
So as you can tell, it's very much Metroid convention. So here,
Yeah.
you hit a lever, you gotta quickly swim through the gate before it closes.
Yep. and you're using, like, now that you have that dodge power up, essentially, you can now get through certain things. Later on, I'm sure you're going to get another power that allows you to get through certain doors that you were not able to before.
It mixes it up, but it does the very typical Metroidvania where when you get a new ability, they want you to use it, you know, a fair amount, like,
Get a feel for it.
in that immediate vicinity to get a feel for it.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, like, I was a little hesitant about the, like, free swimming aspect of it, but it feels perfectly fine, right? Like, it doesn't feel cumbersome to be able to move around, and it does actually control very well. I'm using a controller on the Steam version, and it handles perfectly fine.
It's definitely a good thing to hear because a lot of the time water levels tend to be the most hated ones because of the movement. So if you're going to play a game that's 100% underwater, you better hope that the controls are really good for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's where, like I said, so here, you know, this was a part before you got the dash that you could go back. And obviously there's a bit more of a collectible, but now I got to repeat the track that I just did.
Yeah.
Which, again, Metroidvania means backtracking, right? You get new abilities, you go back, and you find places you can access that you couldn't previously, right? But Alex, what you were speaking to is that's probably why I was hesitant about the controls, is because of that preconceived notion that, you know, water levels are kind of the most annoying. Initially, it took a little bit to get used to, but after 15 minutes, not even a thought in the mind anymore.
That's good. I mean, it's nice because, again, you know, as Alex was saying, it is often the most hated because of controls. So if it plays well, we might see some other games that use similar mechanics, maybe not underwater, but maybe like in space or flying of some kind, right?
Yeah.
To do a similar type of game, and that could be interesting as well.
See, so here, the dodge put those marks on them.
Yeah, they
and
took more damage.
essentially got one shot at that point. And if you just saw previously, I got an upgrade item. There was like one of 3, so you can go around, you can upgrade. You have a healing canister that recharges at like save points, but you can also increase like health, stamina, and things like that.
Yeah.
This is, you know, a barrier that I could not pass in the early access. I'm guessing later on you get some sort of ability that lets you go through it. But, you know, that's the nature of the Metroidvania. I mean, we're getting close to the end of this quick first opinion. What do you guys think? Do you continue after the first opinion?
I definitely would. I love Metroidvania games. I had such a great time with, you know, games like Hollow Knight or Shovel Knight, and I'm down for this for sure. I would play it.
I really like the graphics. I like that we're now seeing something that looks a bit different, so you're not just going to see that blue all the time. I would do it because I think that the combat looks really interesting, and yeah, this is actually, I think, one of the best looking ones we've done. For first opinions.
So I would definitely continue after the first opinion. This is one of those early access demo type ones where when the demo came to an end, I was disappointed that there wasn't more that I could play right away. Let's just check out a few more seconds of gameplay here, and you'll see one of Alex's favorite things, which is me dying. But I like what Alex mentioned, you know, like a different locale. It's all underwater, but it can still look different.
Yeah.
Hey, did you like that video? If you did, be sure to let us know by clicking the like button and leaving a comment. If you want to be first in line for any new content, be sure to subscribe to our channel and then hit up our Facebook page. The link's in the description below to see what's coming up next.